The Letter That Changed Everything, a Timeless Love Tale. My name is Claire Thompson. If someone had sat me down a decade ago and shared the notion that a single letter could completely alter the course of my existence, I would have found it hard to contain my amusement, or perhaps even shed a tear. That's the reality of where I was back then, caught in a web of disillusionment where love felt like an illusion, something that belonged to fairy tales rather than my own life. It wasn't that I lacked the desire for love or the yearning to believe in its magic, it was simply the cumulative weight of heartache and disappointment that had chipped away at my faith. Each time I had opened myself up to the possibility of love, life had thrown me a curveball, leading me to feel that maybe love was not meant for someone like me. I resided in a tranquil little town named Hillside Ridge, an enchanting haven nestled amid rolling green hills and meandering roads that seemed to weave a tapestry of serenity. The air was often filled with the soft sounds of nature, creating an atmosphere ripe for reflection and discovery. In the heart of this charming community, I operated a quaint bookstore that had been lovingly passed down to me by my grandmother, a cherished legacy known as Whispers and Pages. The very name of the shop always resonated with an enchanting quality, evoking a sense of wonder akin to that found in the pages of a fairy tale, where each book held a world of possibilities and secrets waiting to be uncovered. However, the reality of my life was anything but enchanted. Each morning arrived with an unvarying predictability, dragging me out of bed before dawn. I would shuffle to the kitchen, the comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air as I took my time preparing it, hoping to savor a fleeting moment of warmth before the day commenced. With a resigned sigh, I would unlock the doors to my modest shop, the familiar creak of the hinges echoing the start of yet another day. As I diligently dusted the shelves, each particle of dust seemed to symbolize the monotony that enveloped my existence. A polite smile would be plastered on my face as I greeted customers, each interaction a brief flicker of connection amid the routine. Then, with the sun setting and the day winding down, I would return to my home, only to find myself slipping back into the same mundane cycle. It was a rhythm: wake up, work, and rest, all repeating endlessly, marking the passage of time without anything truly magical taking place. Then, one rainy morning in September, everything changed. The bell above the door of the quaint little bookstore jingled softly, announcing the entrance of a new customer. A man stepped inside, shaking off droplets of rain that clung to his long brown coat, which was now drenched and heavy from the relentless downpour outside. He stood tall, with an air of quiet melancholy about him, his messy black hair tousled and unruly as if it had been shaped by the winds of a storm. A 5 o'clock shadow adorned his jawline, adding to the ruggedness of his appearance, giving him the look of someone who had just emerged from the pages of a somber, elegant novel filled with introspection and depth. His name was David Moore, a name that seemed to echo the weight of the stories he carried within him, waiting patiently to be discovered. "I'm looking for something that'll help me believe in love again," he said with a soft smile. The impact of those words was deep, halting me in my tracks as if they possessed an undeniable power. Perhaps it was because, deep down, I had also ceased to believe in the magic of love and connection. There was a journey that once filled my heart with hope, but it seemed to have faded over time. In that moment of shared vulnerability, I reached for a book of poetry that had always spoken to me, Letters to a Young Lover. Its pages were filled with emotions and sentiments I longed to convey but struggled to articulate. As I offered him the book, I felt a flicker of the feelings I thought I had lost, reminding me of the beauty that still existed in words and love. He opened it, read a line out loud. "Some loves are not found. They are remembered." He turned his gaze toward me, and in that moment, a flicker of unspoken understanding passed between us. The depth of his eyes revealed an emotion that felt both familiar and deep, a silent admission that resonated deeply within me. It was as if he was saying, without uttering a single word, that he too had been on a quest, seeking something elusive and meaningful in his life. And just like that, he was a constant presence, returning time after time, week after week. Every Thursday, without fail, he arrived at precisely 10 a.m., as if he were a clockwork mechanism set to a specific schedule. Occasionally, he would browse the shelves and select a book to purchase, becoming lost in the pages of stories waiting to be told. Other times, however, he would simply pull up a chair and engage in lively conversation, sharing pieces of his life and thoughts with ease. David, as he introduced himself, claimed to be a writer, or at least, he used to identify as one. He spoke fondly of the aspirations that once fueled his creativity, dreams of crafting and publishing a novel that had the potential to touch lives, to make a meaningful impact on others. Yet, as he reflected, those dreams often wither in the face of life's relentless challenges and hardships, reminding us all how difficult it can be to hold on to our dreams when the world weighs us down. He confided in me about his tumultuous past, revealing the heart-wrenching story of a failed engagement that shattered his dreams of love and companionship. He spoke of the deep sense of betrayal he felt when his best friend, someone he had trusted implicitly, turned against him in a moment of vulnerability. Furthermore, he shared the profound hurt caused by his father's abandonment, a man who vanished just when he needed guidance and support the most. As I listened to his narrative unfold, it wasn't merely out of curiosity, but rather because I resonated with the shards of suffering he laid bare, recognizing fragments of my own struggles mirrored in his poignant reflections. With time, our friendship became something more. One particular night, right on the cusp of Christmas, we found ourselves perched on the rooftop of my apartment, gazing out at the breathtaking scene that unfolded beneath us. The entire town was illuminated, transformed into a sparkling wonderland, as twinkling lights adorned every building and tree, casting a warm, magical glow all around. The gentle, powdery snowflakes danced gracefully in the air, settling softly on the ground, further enhancing the enchanting atmosphere. It was a moment suspended in time, where the beauty of the season enveloped us, and we felt the charm of the holidays all around. David turned to me and whispered, "Claire, do you believe in soulmates?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to protect myself. But instead, I nodded. He smiled and said, "Then I must have found mine." My heart skipped. But love isn't always simple. One fateful night, just as the world outside settled into a quiet lull, David's phone rang unexpectedly, shattering the stillness around him. On the other end of the line was the voice he had long been estranged from, his father, the man who had walked away from his life when he was just a boy. The news was grim. His father was critically ill in Lagos, Nigeria, a city that had become his father's sanctuary after years spent in silence and absence. The weight of the moment bore down on David, compelling him to make a decision he had both dreaded and anticipated. He knew he had to go. This was more than just an obligation, it was a journey toward closure, a quest for the answers that had eluded him for so long, and perhaps, just perhaps, a chance for forgiveness that could heal the wounds of their fractured past. He made a solemn promise that he would return in 3 weeks. "I'll write to you. Every single week, without fail. I'll send you letters filled with my thoughts and experiences," he declared, gently cradling my face in his hands, his eyes brimming with intensity. "You must promise to wait for me." And so, I waited. Week 1, a letter arrived. Beautiful. Heartfelt. Full of longing. Week 2, another came, shorter, but sweet. Week 3, silence. Then a month. Then 2. Then 6. I wrote back. I emailed. I even called. But nothing. No answers. No letters. No goodbye. My heart felt like it had been irreparably shattered into countless pieces. As I tried to process the overwhelming emotions surging within me, my mind waged a relentless battle filled with an array of questions that seemed to echo endlessly. Did he deceive me? Was I merely a fleeting chapter in the story of his life? Did something significant occur that I was unaware of? Each thought weighed heavily on my spirit, deepening the turmoil that consumed me. Eventually, I tried to move on. Then, on a warm morning in April, 7 years after David disappeared, an envelope arrived. No return address. Just my name, written in shaky handwriting. Inside was a faded letter. And a photograph. The letter read, "Claire, If this letter finds you, know that I never stopped thinking about you. I'm sorry I never wrote back. I didn't forget you. I didn't leave because I wanted to. I had an accident in Lagos. I was in a coma for months. When I woke up, I had lost my memory. I didn't even remember my name. But something inside me always felt incomplete. Last week, I found one of your letters hidden in an old poetry book. As I read it, everything came rushing back: your smile, your voice, the rooftop, the rain, everything. I don't know if you've moved on. I wouldn't blame you if you have. But if there's still a part of your heart that remembers me, I'll be at the bench by the lake in Hillside Ridge at 6 p.m. this Saturday. The place where we shared our first kiss. Love, always. David. I dropped the letter. My hands were trembling. My heart racing. Could it be true? After all this time? I drove to the lake that Saturday, not knowing what to expect. Maybe he wouldn't show. Maybe it was a cruel prank. Or worse, maybe he had changed. The lake lay in serene stillness, its surface mirroring the tranquility of the surrounding environment. As the day transitioned into evening, the sun began its gradual descent beyond the horizon, casting a breathtaking palette of soft orange and delicate pink hues across the expansive sky. The vibrant colors blended seamlessly, creating a stunning backdrop that enveloped the landscape in warmth and calm, enhancing the sense of peace that enveloped the scene. And then I saw him. Sitting on the bench. Older. A little thinner. But still David. When he turned and our eyes met, I saw everything I had missed: the sadness, the hope, and the love that never died. I ran to him. No words. Just tears. We held each other like the world had stopped spinning. He whispered, "I found my way back to you." I whispered, "I never stopped waiting." And just like that, time worked its remarkable magic, bringing with it a profound sense of healing. The years that had stretched between us began to dissolve, fading away like fleeting shadows that vanish under the bright, unwavering rays of the sun. Each moment that had once felt heavy with longing and distance now seemed lighter, replaced by the warmth of renewed connection and understanding. Now, we run the bookstore together. Whispers in Pages is more alive than ever. We turned his letters into a book, the letter that changed everything. It became a bestseller. People say it gave them hope. And when they ask me if I still believe in love, I smile and say, absolutely. This is the essence of love, true, profound love. It possesses a resilience that is unmatched. It never truly gives up, no matter the circumstances. There may be times when it feels lost, when it seems to wander without direction, and there might be moments when it appears to forget. However, despite these challenges and distractions, love has an incredible ability to navigate the complexities of life. Ultimately, it always manages to find its way back home, to the heart of its origin, ensuring that its presence is felt once more. And that is how a letter changed my life. If you loved this story, please subscribe and share.